Right here is the little baby guppy, still alive. Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today I'm going to be making my indoor guppy breeding pond. I already have it started, but I want to actually get it finished, get some substrate structure in there, and make it actually look really good. Right now I'm filling up these water jugs. I get about 10 gallons here, fresh and dechlorinated, so I have something to add to the guppy pond. Here is my guppy pond as it sits right now. I have LB, my little light blue guppy in there, the male, and I have two female guppies in there. And then right here is the little baby guppy, still alive, swimming around. So I have some floating wisteria, some hornwort in there. I have an Amazon blade, all live plants, and then I have some just fake aquarium structure in there as well for coverage. A little bit of pea gravel there on the bottom, but I want to get some more substrate in there, and then just do a ring of these rocks maybe, and maybe this structure in the middle for some coverage. But first I want to get the water cleaned out, so I'm going to siphon out about 10 gallons, which is half of this 20-gallon tub here I got from Lowe's. So this guppy pond is room temperature water, so I'm going to let these jugs acclimate to the room temperature before I pour them in. I'll use the vacuum pump and suck out as much of the fish poop and detritus in the bottom as I can to get it clean to start, and then I will get all my structure and everything in there. This is my goldfish koi grow out tub, and you can see I have some guppies in there as well. I have 6 guppies in here. I don't know, maybe 3 male, 3 female, 4 male, 2 female maybe. But I'm going to be pulling those out of here. I originally put them in the tank just to give the goldfish a little bit of comfort, so you could see the little fish swimming above. They wouldn't be hiding in the rocks all the time. And you can see it clearly worked. I got my goldfish, the Sarasa comets. I got 3 shabunkin in there, and then you'll occasionally see the gold koi going around the bottom there, but he's a little bit more shy. These ones are a lot better, and they're eating out of my hand already, so I'm just going to be growing them out for my outdoor pond that I'm building outside. And then I have 2 guppies in here that were born in my quarantine tank when I originally got those guppies. So I have those in here, and I'm going to be pulling them out and adding them to the guppy pond as well. And then you can see I have 3 Sarasa comets in there doing pretty well. I have them in quarantine that I'll be adding back to my grow out tub. So I have some fish to be moving around. These ones are going to stay in quarantine for another week, so I won't even be touching those guppies just in case they got something from the new goldfish I got. But other than those 2, I'll be pulling these 6 out of here and adding them to the new indoor guppy pond. I love these Sarasa comets in this quarantine tank, because just those 3, and they just dance at the front of the tank all day long. I have my bucket, and I have my pump. I'm going to stick this end into the guppy pond. It has a little screen in there so I don't catch up that little baby guppy. I'm going to shove that down in there, give this a couple pumps, and it'll start flowing water, siphoning out of the tub. I'll take this around and just go ahead and poke it around the bottom, and it'll suck up all the little dirt and fish poop. Get it nice and clean in there before I add any more fish. while that's draining out, let's go check on my cichlid pond. Inside here are my cichlids. I have 2 Oscars, a Severum, gold Severum cichlid, and 4 silver dollars. You can't see any of them right now because they're all hiding down in that shadow over there. We'll see. I'll give them a little bit of food and see if I can get them to come up. I'm just giving them a little bit of bug bites, but that'll get the smell in the water. And they might come up and see what's up. Okay, I don't typically feed them at this time, so they're not really interested. It's kind of funny that I have 6 fish in here and I can't see any of them. There's another. There's the silver dollars all shoaling together down there in the stone pile. It's because the current goes right into there. There you go. He's got the silver dollars sprinting around now, but yeah, they're all just hiding. Got my bog filter on here running, and I just put in my check valves. That one doesn't really fit, but it's definitely working. And I got my check valve on here, so that'll keep the water, if the power ever goes out, that'll keep all the water in the bucket bog filter from siphoning back through into the pond and overflowing it. So that's definitely an important part to put onto your filter here. This one's leaking, but it's not a real big deal. It'll still operate just the way it needs to. Because all the water is staying in the bin, it's still overflowing the same amount. No big deal. I don't have any fish in here. Come on, silver dollars, come on out. I have a pretty big Oscar in here. We did a video on the Oscar whenever I had him up in my patio goldfish pond. Black tiger Oscar I have in this pond is actually from my patio goldfish pond I had outside. I thought it was a fancy goldfish because that's the way it was labeled at PetSmart, but it wasn't a fancy goldfish. So when I found out it was an Oscar, I built this bigger indoor pond for him so I can keep him warm during the winter and he'd have more volume of water to swim around in and actually get bigger, because these fish can get big. This one is already pushing 5, maybe 6 inches, and he's only a few months old, but can't see him at all in the tank right now. I'll get some footage of him later and show you. And the siphon stopped because this pond is sitting on the ground and it's not actually flowing down, so it only can siphon as much as gravity will let it. But yeah, that works for now. I'll take this half bucket because it has a ton of nutrients in it from all that fish poop. So I'll take this bucket and dump it on my plants outside, and then I'll come back and get another half bucket. Lump up. Figure I'll do a full room update here. I also have a 29-gallon community tank. You can see the main feature is that black striped angelfish. I also have 2 Endler guppies there at the top, 2 females and 1 male, as well as 2 lyre-tail mollies, little gold panda lyre-tail mollies. And then you can see at the bottom here is the Corridora. These are just, I have 3 spotted Corridora in there as well. On the back is a blue mystery snail, and in the bottom here is a black nearite snail. I used to have some ghost shrimp and cherry shrimp in here, and I believe my angelfish went around and killed them all because they didn't last long. I did lose one of the female Endler guppies, and I also lost one of my mollies as well. But the tank's been doing pretty well. I just did a water change on it yesterday, and it's looking pretty good. I do have some brown hair algae growing on there, but I think it's just a little bit excess nutrient. I need to do a couple more water changes, and I don't think that'll become a big problem. These mollies will actually eat that, and I've seen them do it, so it's no big deal. That'll take care of itself. I don't mind the natural look of the algae in there. The plants have been taken off. All this cardinalis is really covering the bottom there. The wisteria is also growing nice and big, and so is this fern I have in the back corner. You can't even see the heater back there, so it's working out perfectly. This little fella here is my red male betta fish. The gorgeous little betta. Got him and he was doing pretty bad. He had a foggy eye and a bunch of holes in his finnage, so I treated him with some Betta Fix and healed right up. Looking a lot better now. This is just a kind of glass bowl that my grandma had, and I turned it into a betta bowl. Planted it out with a bunch of pearlweed and hornwort in the middle. Now, this betta did have some friends with them, some ghost shrimp. Had a couple ghost shrimp in there, and I have a nearite snail. The nearite snail is still alive somewhere, and this betta is just a little friendly right now, huh? You see me, you want some food. But I didn't realize at one point my heater went off. I have everything plugged into a power strip, and one of the sides of the power strip is a timer. So this part of the power strip is always on, and then those four of the power strip are on the timer. And that one right there is my Betta Heater. So I didn't realize that that side of the strip wasn't on, so my Betta bowl went a couple weeks without heat. So my Betta went a couple weeks without heat, and he handled it just fine, but I believe it took out my ghost shrimp. They couldn't handle the temperature drop and they didn't make it. So I'm thinking about getting some more shrimp for this to just help with the hair algae there on the hornwort, and just be a little bit of company for the betta fish. Let me try and find that nearite snail. There he is. There's a zebra nearite on the log, the floating betta log, to go in there so the betta can sit there and not get pushed around by the current. Oh, little fella. But yeah, I like the betta bowl. It's growing out nicely. I just did the pruning yesterday when I did the water change, and it's looking good. Definitely sucking out a good bit of water and fish poop. I'm gonna go dump this one. Alright, so I accidentally sucked up my little female baby guppy. So it's no big deal. I'll show you. Just pull it back. There, little baby guppies is released. It's not a strong suction, so it's no big deal. They can swim right back out. A little baby guppy. I'm more than halfway down on this pond, and that's about all it's going to let me drain with gravity, so that's about good enough. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and I'm going to actually put my palm over the end of the suction tube before I pull it out of the water, because there's all that dirt and debris in there, and you want to keep as much out of the pond as you can. Hold it up and let it drain down into the water. Get all the water out, and stick this end with all the dirt and debris in there back into the water. And swirl it around until it gets all clean. Now we're done with the suction hose. I'm going to dump this water onto another plant. I'm going to go with a natural look, which is this Imaginarium Aquatic Substrate. You see it has a lot of white in it. Oh, a lot like my carpet. Yeah, same thing. So I got 20 pounds of this, and I don't even think I need it all. A lot of my structure is already in there, and I'm going to keep using that structure. I just need to move it out of the way so I can get the substrate in the bottom. Now this is pretty much a redo of the pond. I'm not going to be adding any of the filter or anything that's already in here. So I'll just go through and show you what that is. It's just an aquarium co-op sponge filter. I believe that's the medium size right here for a 20-gallon pond. And all it is an air stone down in through a tube. And as it pumps air down into the air stone, the Venturi system will actually pull water through the sponge, and all the debris gets trapped into the sponge as it tries to go up to the bubbles. and it also aerates the water. So it's a filter and an aerator all in one. It's pretty much the best thing to use for a guppy pond. I have it hooked up to a little air pump back here, and it's humming. Alright, I'm gonna wash my hands and decorate this thing. It's a little foggy right now, stirring up some of the debris that's left in there, but it's starting to come together, and I really like the look with that lighter gravel in the bottom. Now I can see the fish a lot better. I have two caves for the fish to go into, one bigger one there, and that's actually a tiny little cave. I need more stone. But first, here is the remnants of my patio goldfish pond, and as you can see, there is some nice structures left in here and a ton of stone. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these stone for the guppy pond. That's my DIY koi pond, coming soon. Subscribe down below so you can see that when it's done. Check out my cichlids, all just chilling in the current. Got the big Oscar up front, and then the 4 silver dollars there in tow. Awesome. Once they see me, it'll probably come out of formation, but look at that. Isn't that so cool? Got the Oscar and the silver dollar just sitting there in the current. Now my white Oscar and my Severum are usually over here. Yeah, there's the white one. Hard to see them down there, but the white one's in the bushes. And the Severum, I don't see the Severum right now. Now I'm going to add the floating plants back in, pour the water in, and we're ready to grab some more guppies out of the grow pond. This female guppy in here is already pregnant. She's looking a little bit big in the belly, so I might have some babies in here pretty soon. Pond's all filled up. I used this little pitcher here just to keep some of the disturbance out of the water as I poured in those jugs, because they really chug-a-lug the water into it. They don't really pour smoothly, so just use a little Tupperware container to help with the water disturbance, and you don't stir up any debris and the fish don't get all shocked. And I have some water left, so I'm gonna pour it in here for a smoother pour. and fill up my Betta bowl. There we go, you can see them now. I'm just gonna give my Betta bowl a little top off. It's a little bit low. And the rest I'm going to pour into my cichlid pond just for a little freshwater splash. But I got to keep it low because that big black tiger oscar likes to jump. And I don't want him jumping out. And I don't have a lid on this. So he can't jump any higher than that lip. So I just have to keep the water low. It's a larger body of water, so I'm not too worried about the disturbance. Plus I pour straight on that pile of rock so it doesn't push away any of the sand. Works out perfect. I have 6 guppies in this pond right now. I'm using as dither fish. So I am going to be pulling these guppies out and put them into the breeding pond. But I don't want the guppies in there because I'm going to try and breed the guppies and save the babies. And when the guppies breed in this pond, the goldfish are going to eat most of them. I did pull out that one baby that we do have. It was hiding in all that floating wisteria and it saved it. So I pulled it out, but the rest of them probably got eaten by these big mouths. They are hungry all the time. So I'm going to pull these guppies out and give their babies a fighting chance. I got my transfer Tupperware container here that I use. And you've seen that on the Oscar pond videos and the patio goldfish pond transfer if you've been following along. And I got my net. So that's all I need. I'm just going to scoop a little bit of water up for the guppies to go into. And then I'm going to scoop guppies up as I can get them and drop them in that tub and take them over to the new pond. I think I got them all. All the new guppies are in there getting to know each other. Hopefully none of them eat the little baby. Hopefully, I don't think they will. It's getting a little bigger right now. Sorry for that glare. But it is nice to see all these guppies in here. And hopefully I can get some babies over winter. So I have 9 guppies in here right now. 9 adult guppies and 1 baby. So 10 total guppies in here. And then I have 2 more in my quarantine tank that I'm going to be adding into the pond here. And then there's 2 more that I have in the quarantine tank that I'm going to be adding to this pond as well. So 12 total guppies that I have starting with. So by the end of the winter we're going to see how many guppies are in this pond and we'll do another update video. Hopefully I'll have tons and tons of guppies by the end of the winter. I hope you enjoyed this indoor construction of the guppy pond. And I hope you stick around to see how many guppies we get out of that pond over winter. We're going to give them a couple months to breed and see how many we can get in the end. And let me know what you think about the other aquariums and ponds I have, and if there's anything else that you think I should be getting into. I do enjoy the hobby and I'm always looking for something else to get started with. Turtles might be a possibility here in the future, so if that's something you'd like to see, go ahead and drop a comment down below and hit that like button before you leave. I do many other things other than just fish. I also am getting my own DIY koi pond build out here, doing it all myself with some help from family, but it will be coming soon here in the spring, and I want to be adding a lot of goldfish and koi to it. That's why I'm growing them out now, so in the spring they'll be a little bit bigger and I can actually put them in the pond and have something to look at. That's all for this one. You can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.